a fluke? Is it real? What's going on? A possible indictment. Multiple investigations don't seem to faze Trump's supporters. If anything, it's growing. Is DeSantis an actual barrier to Trump clinching this nomination? Mallory Newall is back with us tonight. It's been a while. She's back, one of our favorites, vice president of public polling at Ipsos. Mallory, is DeSantis really slipping? I mean, the first GOP debate is in August. There's not much time. DeSantis told Piers Morgan, yeah, I think I can beat Trump. I'm more of an executive guy, not a VP guy. But Trump is saying, yeah, I'd like to see you try. Who's right?
Hey, Chance. Great to be here with you tonight. That's a great question. And I think the number one thing that we need to remember is that we are still a long ways off from the presidential election in 2024, and even from when the primaries start. So there's a ways to go, and I think a lot can happen between now and then. But this polling does show that the Republican Party right now is very much still the party of Donald Trump.
Okay, so Trump, he's going to have his first big event. He had some minor ones, I think New Hampshire or something before, but this is supposed to be a big event. Is this whole indictment thing this all week? I mean, which in the end turned out to be much ado about nothing. Maybe it will be something in the coming days. We don't know. But is it hurting him? Is it helping him numbers-wise?
Good question. We have some Ipsos polling, both from earlier this year and last year, that shows that rank-and-file Republicans, what they're looking for is a winner, somebody who can win elections, somebody that can speak up for the people that they represent. And compromise is kind of secondary. So the extent to which this potential indictment matters to Republicans, I'm not so sure.
Okay. Fox is trying to boost DeSantis. They're having him on the air. They're kind of favorable in their coverage. And we saw back in 2016, they're not kingmakers. You know, they weren't exactly pro-Trump in the beginning last time, but they do have sway among some independents and definitely conservatives. Do they have that same rainmaker magic in shaping opinion of the base, people who will actually be voting in primaries like in the past?
We know that, like someone's party ID, their party affiliation, your news consumption, where you get your news, can have a strong impact on how you feel about specific issues, how you feel about candidates. So for a certain part of the population, for a certain part of the Republican Party even, those who are avid Fox News viewers, I do think it does have an impact. But we have to remember that not every Republican, not every independent-leaning Republican is an avid viewer of Fox News.
And President Biden, we can't forget, he'd be on the other side. He keeps saying, yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do. His wife keeps telling people, like, you know, kind of publicly, yeah, he's running. He's going to run. I want him to run. I don't know if they're waiting for a good moment. I don't know if maybe they're delaying because, you know, if it does end up bowing out, you're a lame duck. You're much less powerful in that case. But how is he? He's had some wins. How's he looking, though, in the polls?
In our polling recently last month, we saw that among Democrats, a plurality said that they would favor Joe Biden for re-election to be the nominee in 2024, but not a majority. So while he's netting more support than any other potential candidate out there right now, I think he still has a little bit of room to grow to shore up not only his base, but potential persuadable voters as well.
Has Ipsos looked at any alternatives on the left? Because Vice President Kamala Harris, she really doesn't poll that well, you know, and her portfolio, the number one thing has been migration and immigration. That's not going so well. Do you see any insurgents on the left of anybody who could actually fill that gap if needed?
Right now, our polling is showing what most polls out there show, which is that Biden and Trump seem to be the front runners for their respective parties. Again, Chance, I think it's important to remember we've got a long way to go. I think there's going to be a lot of ups and downs between now and when the primaries start. But that's what all public polling, ours including, says to be showing right now.
Mallory, you and I became parents around the same time. So, by the way, I hope your kiddo's doing great. But, you know, kitchen table issues really are what motivate a lot of people at the end of the day. When you look at what's motivating voters right now and looking into 2024, what is it?
not to borrow that phrase from the 90s that I think everyone uses, but it's the economy stupid, right? It is still very much the economy, a lot of uncertainty that Americans are feeling about the economy right now. And the economy is sending mixed signals, right? So Americans are still trying to make heads or tails on that. And, we're seeing that, consumer confidence is a little bit up and down, and there's a lot of indicators around the economy that are kind of muddled, right? But overall, it still remains the biggest issue. And then for some people, crime and safety as well. And that was similar to what we saw actually in the 2022 election.
I was going to say, that sounds very familiar. It's rhyming with 2022. Exactly. Mallory Newall, Vice President of Public Polling with Ipsos. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
You too, Chance. Thanks.